Shalom everyone. Today we're going to try to address the issue of the coronavirus and the scare behind it and what's going on, because a lot of people are asking what does it say in the Kabbalistic writings connected to this weird things that is happening, that is changing economy, governments, people's behavior, habits and stuff like this. So few details, because I looked in the books and there's some issues that repeat themselves. I'm not a prophet, so I'm not prophesizing anything, but I'm trying to bring what does it say in connection with the symptoms or all the stuff that we already know about this phenomena that is this virus that is spreading so fast and is so scary. And let's see, what does it mean? First of all, we know one thing, that after the scientists analyzed the genetical sequence of this virus, they arrived to the conclusion that this virus is arriving from bats. You know, these creatures with wings, mammals, okay, living in caves mostly or something like this. And the moment we're talking about bats, it reminds something very special. One of the most powerful parts in the Talmud discussing the days of redemption is in the book, in the Tractate Sanhedrin, page 98, side 2. There's a very, very famous expression that relates to our days. And it says as follows, okay? It says like this. It speaks about the symptoms of the generation that is coming before the Messianic age, before the redemption of mankind or humanity. Okay, and it says like this. This is just the end of chapter 28, just the last 2 lines in the Talmud. דרש רבי שמלאי, מה דכתיב? הוי המתאבים את יום השם, למה זה לכם יום השם? הוא חושך ולא אור. Okay, that's from Amos 5, chapter 5. It's like, woe to those that are looking for the day of God. Because, you know, a lot of people are waiting or expecting redemption. They could be waiting for justice or waiting for the world to become better. And we can divide those two, as what it says over here, into two kinds. There are those ones who are atheists, don't believe in anything, but they believe in hard work. We'll work hard, humanity will work hard and so on, and the world will become better. Okay, and there are those who claim to be religious, but they don't really. What do I mean they don't really? They just follow rules and tradition, but they don't really do the internal work that it needs, which means the real spiritual transformation. You see a lot of people that are waiting, oh, the Mashiach will come in the next Purim. Mashiach will come. I heard somebody said it by Tisha B'Av, by the 9th of Av or something like this, or by Passover. And you see that person is waiting for the Mashiach. And I realize, you know, from my work with people for the last few decades, there are people that are waiting for the Mashiach because they don't want to work if Mashiach is coming anyway. So why, you know, there's no reason to work so hard. It's going to happen anytime. Okay? And that's what the Talmud is quoting Amos for, the prophet Amos. Why you guys are saying that you want the special day of Hashem? Because it's going to be darkness for you, not light. And he continues, Mashal letarnegol v'le'atalef. There is a parable about a rooster and a bat. Shayu metzapim laor. They were waiting at night, waiting for the sun to shine. Amar tarnegol atalef, says the rooster. We know the rooster. He waits for the dawn to come, because when that comes, he awakes everybody with his calls. Right? That's what the rooster. So the rooster says, I know what I'm waiting for, but you. What are you waiting for? Ani metzape le'ora she'ora shali. I'm waiting for the light because the light is mine. I'm a symbol of the light. There's also a game of words. A rooster in Hebrew is tarnegol, but many times in the sources it's being called gever. Gever means a man. We spoke also Parashat Teruma about a man. Gever means it's coming from the word להתגבר, a hero, somebody who overcomes his darkness, his evil inclination. ואתה, למה לך אורה? והיינו, so and you, says the rooster to the bat, for you the light. You know, bats, for them, they can't stand the light. So the bat, since then, in many, many writings of Kabbalists along the generations, the bat is a symbol of lack of faith. Lack of faith, when the heart is blocked and you can't feel God. You become atheist, angry person, whatever. You can't, that's a bat. And now where did that appear? In China. And we know that the longest tradition of atheism in the world right now, it's in China. And it's a place of, you can find too many people that don't believe in anything. I'm not saying there's only in China, but all over the world. And what does it mean you don't believe in anything? There are two kinds of people that don't believe in anything. Some people, we can say psychologically, their heart is so blocked, so loaded with negativity, so they can't have any space for any feel that there's something greater in reality than them and their reality. Yeah, a lot of people, they just believe, nobody told them, nobody taught them, to just see it everywhere. And then some people, they will see it in front of them and they won't get it. There are people that did once maybe believe in God, but then they had all kinds of tests and challenges and they didn't pass them properly and they failed and they're full of anger and therefore they don't believe in God. In both cases, that brings to something that if we know some about psychology of medicine, we all know that when it's winter and it's cold and it's raining and we start to get the kind of gloomy, okay, when we get hurt, we're the most vulnerable to get the cold. Where does it hit? In the lungs. The lungs is the first place when a person is hurt emotionally. The lungs become the most sensitive. And this virus kills by attacking the lungs. And it says always, it's always people with a previous history of sensitivity. Heavy smokers, they had pneumonia, they had lung diseases and stuff like this. And what does it mean? That it's all about hurt. People who you have to choose. Faith, what does it mean, faith? What faith means that everything is from the Creator and everything is for the good. That is what faith. If something happens, it's a challenge I have to overcome to transform ligbo, להתגבר, gever, the rooster, to overcome. And when I overcome, the bigger the obstacle, the bigger the light. When you live like this, you have faith and your faith gets stronger as the days pass by. When you live your day like this, you know when you have a day that you're full of faith and excitement of everything, your chances to get even the flu or just a simple cold, slim to none. Everybody sneezes around you, you won't get it. Why? Because you have faith in yourself, in the universe, in the world, and in goodness. That's one thing. So the message, first of all, of mankind and humankind is, first of all, you know, even if you're not Jewish, there are 7 laws that are given to Noach and his family for all mankind. It's about believing there's a God. There's a God that is good, that is endless, that is everywhere. There's nothing but Him. That's a first mitzvah for every human being. What I mean, so if I don't do, so I'm going to be punished? No, because you're never going to reach who you're supposed to be without reaching that place. So faith in the good, that's a basic of monotheism. Faith that is the good is endless and eternal. and evil is just local and temporary. This is the first thing. Every human being needs to that. You know why? Because when you are like this, you're more creative. You're happier. You deal with obstacles in a much nicer, intelligent way. You're more creative, so you can pull stuff from outside the box because you believe in the good. That's one thing. Okay. The other thing is also, we have also the 7 laws of Noach say that, the laws of kosher apply to Jews only. The non-Jews, they can eat whatever they want. They're not going to be hurt because their souls are not structured in a way that different kinds of food can hurt them, except from eating live animals. You know what they say? You become what you eat. If you have a dog and you want it to be a guard dog and you want to be strong and violent, you give him bloody, fresh meat. But if you have a dog in the house and you want him to be civilized and not to destroy the house, you give him, dog processed food because you want him to be civilized. So that's why the Bible says that, again, it's one of the 7 laws: do not eat blood. Do not eat live animals. One of the results of the virus in China is there's a rule right now not to eat raw food. And what's amazing, that when this issue of eating raw is mentioned in the Torah, you can find it in Exodus chapter 12, verse 9. And it says over there, during the Exodus, they slaughtered the lamb and then they roasted it on fire. They were told to roast it on fire. And it says, Al tochlu mimeno na. The Torah calls the raw meat na. Uncooked meat na. Rashi, the great commentator 1,000 years ago from France, he said, what is na? A meat that is not cooked, korona. In Hebrew, korona is 2 words. You call it na. Korona is Rashi, 1,000 years ago, means in Hebrew, you call it raw. That's what it means in Hebrew, korona. Okay? That's what it says. Now, so, how is this connected to our life right now? And that you have to see the Zohar in Parashat Shmot, Exodus. And I'm reading from the commentary of Rabbi Ashlag, but it's verse 96. Rabbi Shimon zakaf yadoi uvacha. Rabbi Shimon, the author of the Zohar, raised his hands and he cried. Ve'amar, and he said, Vai man dizdaman ba'uzimna. Woe to those who will live in that generation of the close to the redemption. Ve'zaka chulakei man dizdaman v'ishtakach ba'uzimna. And happy, praiseworthy are the ones who will live at that time, and they will be able to stay with faith. Says Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, the world will be divided into 2 kinds of people. One kind will just see miracles everywhere. You have access to wisdom like never before. You have time for wisdom like we are richer than ever before. So you appreciate every second that you have, because we are just in a time that we have to be so thankful. For we have the access to all the wisdom of the generations, and we have the time for that. Not long ago, we had no access to wisdom. We had no time for it. We had to survive. Now we have so much spare time and so much wisdom. We complain that we have so much spare time and too much wisdom. But some people complain always, and some people will be happy. Whoever will have a faith, as we said before, in one endless God that loves every human being and every creature endlessly, you are in the greatest time. But the ones who don't have that faith, he says, he cried, woe, the pain they're going to go through. Because living in such a generation, the light is coming and you're blind like a bat. The light is burning, things are happening and you can't deal with it. It's too fast, too strong, too big. to enlightening. You have to open up. One thing we know scientifically, and I'll finish with that. This virus is unstoppable. Why? First of all, most of the people that are exposed to the virus get the virus and they have no symptoms at all. Which means no government has big enough budget to check every citizen to know who has it or who does not have it. It spreads so fast. All the greatest scientists in the world that are experts to epidemics say within a very short time 70 to 80% of the population on planet Earth will be infected with the virus. You can't stop it. What you can do, just delay it because the health system is not ready to deal with so many people. The ones who get sick, only 10% of them really get sick. And only a smaller percent than that, it's really, really life-threatening and so on. And who gets it? Kids are not in danger at all. Why? They didn't give up yet. Rabbi Shaul is saying, what is old age? Despair. Giving up. As long as you don't give up, as long as you have faith that everything is going to be greater tomorrow and the day after than yesterday, you're not susceptible. So even if you have the virus and you even transfer it, you wouldn't even know. A lot of people that were on the Corona ship and were quarantined over there come to Israel and they say they didn't even sneeze. Nothing, not a cough, not a sneeze. They were identified, they were tested positive for the virus. Nothing, and they were old people. They're all grandfathers and grandmothers. The whole group, but very excited people. How do you know? You heard the grandma, she was saying, you know, they were stuck in a hospital, whatever. I wanted to go to the kitchen and cook for them, and they didn't let me. You know, this kind of a person is immune. Even if you get the virus and you keep on being faithful and happy and excited about life, that's immunity. But if you keep into despair and you hurt from life and you hurt from people, and you never understand that everything is for the good, and you think that darkness is what's ruling this world, you're in danger. Time to wake up. Thank you and stay healthy.
Yeah.